All right, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of flipping between the pages here uh, on the entrance, but hello, everybody. Welcome into another live development of a rig builder and a facial rig overall based on facts. And this is a process that it's taken one step after the other in order to achieve this big project. Well, for me at least, it's a big project. It has multiple steps, including coding, including developing a UI, developing a series of classes in order to be able to rebuild this rig. And at the end of the day, we then move on into the fax blend shapes that also needs to be done. So I hope you're having a great day today, that you had a good day of work, and it was definitely a long day for me, but I guess that's just a part of the deal. A part of the deal. So let's get into it. Yesterday, oh hey Bob, how's it going, man? Didn't say hi to you. Hope you're having a good time spinning infinitely, just round and round. All right. So, also, if you want to participate and say hi, please feel free to leave a comment. We'll talk and answer as best as possible. And there we go. So, yesterday I was working on this function or method here to basically import and connect all of the blend shapes into one single structure. So the way I was doing it, I was importing the blend shape. So there's a set of there's multiple sets of geometries representing a specific pose. And each set of geometry has all of the elements of the face, the head, the eyelashes, eyeballs, etc., etc. And this needs to be added as a target into the main head. And then we also need, after that, we need to connect the controls so that we can drive them like by a pose name, let's say like this. That being said, we move on back into the development. So the next step then, if you're curious, is, as I said yesterday, it is to get this spine, cervical spine rigged. So right now what we have is just adaptation of what I had on the previous rig that I was working on, the Joaquin Phoenix rig, and this one needs to be adjusted. We need to adjust the skeleton here. It seems to be that it's a little shorter than, or the rib cage is a little bigger than what this guy should have. So it's either the rib cage is bigger or it's a the cervical spine is too long, meaning that it needs to be compressed. So you're gonna see about that. Uh, let me close this. Or let me uh, have the. So right now we also have no shaders on the scene. All we have are the skeleton shader, which is a very basic shader, and you can see that the head has no shaders to it. So what we also need to do is also check if this head is. So let me start taking some notes here. So just say, yeah, let's do it, of course, on the computer. Much smarter than doing it on my notepad. I like my notepad sometimes, but just having it here, I sometimes is better. I also need to check what was already done, but I'm not gonna put you guys through it. Not that anyone is around, anyways, but at the moment. But I don't think it's necessary. So let me just add here like project development. Also, I'm gonna get my font size back into 20 so that everybody can see. And I also have this going on here. I don't need this at the moment. So this is all good as far as I'm concerned. So I'm gonna go with this then and just have a little task list here so that I can get back into action. So one of the things that I need is to add shaders, or let's say basic, oh, froze, basic shader to head model geo. And so I need to, because right now we have this gray hat here. There's not going to be very pleasant to look for anyone, not even for me. I believe that even just like food or anything like this, sometimes you need to see something beautiful in order to believe, even if it's not that good. Sometimes having a beautiful thing helps you to sell the idea even to yourself. So I need to add some basic shaders to it, and then I need to adjust uh, the, oh my god, just the skeleton. So Emmanuel Caballero Salazar is sending us a message here. Welcome, my friend. I hope you're having a good day. And he's saying, I notify. So I'm not really sure what it means, but I hope you can either explain or we're gonna talk more about this. So I'm gonna adjust the skeleton, and this is mostly the rib cage, the skeleton rib cage, and the cervical spine, so that it fits into our head model here. So we need a better positioning of basically the rib cage and the cervical spine. So either we're gonna shorten this or just scale the entire thing. Let's see. Then we need to also place our skeleton. So first of all, after that is done, what I need to, so with the joint skeleton, what I need to do is finish adding all joints. So that's then basically going to be add leg joints, or I just flip them, or just flip. Then we also need, I don't know, I don't think we have arms right now. I don't know if we're going to have them, but I can have like a proxy idea of an arm. So add arm joints. So it can go pretty wild since we're not actually using this, like even hands or something like that. It might be used on the future in the future, but it's not. It's definitely not going to be used right now. But let's say then that this is the further we're gonna get. We could also on the leg we could also have like add feet, oh, add feet joints, and I mean as long as we have a way to control the entire skeleton, and then start to think how are we going to move up to control the cervical spine and the clavicles, and how are we going to just do this and also still leave it open for future development. So I need to have the cervical spine controlled all the way to the head, jaw, and everything in the head. Also the clavicles, and I also need, yeah, did I say the cervical spine? I believe I said it right. But I wouldn't do the entire thoracical and the lumbar portion of the spine at this point. So I I just need to figure out a way to control only the cervical, clavicles, and the head, and in the future make it possible for me to still continue developing, but being able to keep the work that was already done. So let's continue then. Add arm joints, and can you guys see what I'm doing here? Bam. All right. So add arm joints, add leg joints, and then I need to joint skeleton, finish adding our joints. Yep. So I need to also change skeleton. This should be like one section actually. So skeleton is the parent here, and then we're just going to do this, and then we're going to do rename all joints, and then we're going to have also orient joints. So this is a very I don't know how exciting is this, but it's just a part, again, it's it's coding. I can sugarcoat it. I can put like melted chocolate on top of it. Still watching it, it's going to be challenging. So anyways, the yeah, I guess that would be it. So I would have today then to add basic shaders to the head. That shouldn't be very hard. I would like to add like how to call it, the shader effects shader with the proper normal maps and all this kind of stuff, all this good stuff. But I don't know that I can do this properly right now. So I probably have to study about this and get back if someone has information about just a second, sorry. What was I even searching here? I need the asset, geo, blend shape, shapes, neutral, and then textures, and then I can do JPEG for now. And we do have a specular map. So this is the maps that we have at the moment. Oh, okay, so maybe we don't have that. All right. So this is the color map, or the fuse map, as you, however you wish to call it. And here we have all the maps for the teeth, for the tongue, for the gums. There's the roughness map here. There's face details. There's some eyes. What I would be interested in, though, is to have like a super powerful bike passing by here. All right, so yeah, that's mostly it, though. So I can see that most of the details are in the normal map. So first of all, one thing that I need to do is the clean clean shaders from mesh from geo. So I will then, so we already have the blend shapes assigned to this, but just out of curiosity, I'll actually just rebuild this. So again, this is one of the advantages of having the RigBuilder, so that we can just rebuild it. And we don't have much right now. Well, basically what we're doing here is just bringing in all this geometry. So we're starting fresh. Whatever happened, it's just going back to the standard. It's going to bring all the blend shape geo again. That's why it's also a little bit slower, because we have, I don't know how many pieces of the same hat, about 30 pieces of the same hat. And yeah, while it loads, how's it going? Are you good today? Have a good day. Are you excited about Python face rigging? I gotta say, I'm not sure myself, but I just keep trying. All right, so let's check that out. Okay, so I have in my head model geo here, and this is the head that we have. Poly soft edge. So do we need this? I don't know that. Why do we have this? Okay. So I actually cleaned. You can see that I cleaned the history on this mesh because there was a history here, like a poly soft edge. We don't want that to be held there as history. We want just the thing itself. So right now I just want to check what kind of shaders we have on this mesh. So this is just right how it got it straight from the OBJ. So if it has something, it should be shown here, but it doesn't seem that it has anything, although it's weird. Neutral default matte. So this is what is also causing all of this complaints there. Graph materials on viewport selection. Here we go. So this is a Lambert. It has the neutral default material, which is a file, and it's just a color map. This is a neutral BMP. I don't even know that we have this. But anyways, let's just since it's applied, let's see if I can take something out of it. So I am just going to access the textures. JPEG is the neutral color. Then what happened? Let's see if it reloads. Yeah, I mean it's not amazing, but it's not also not terrible. We can actually see something going on. It's better than nothing. It's really weird to have this eyes the way they are right now, but also not much that I can do at the moment because I don't want to be setting up like complex anything right now, to be honest. So let me check if this map here has the color off. It doesn't seem to have any color. I think let me see if this actually has any, because this is the white eye wet. I don't think it shouldn't have any UV maps on it. Yeah, it has. So this is also, it's important to point out that this is a project that the mesh was bought for this project, meaning I bought the mesh for this project. So this is what we got from it out of the box, right? And that's fine. I mean, this is not absolutely great, but I think it's going to work for now. The school also needs adjustment. This is a good thing to point out. And we also have this muzzle, the representation of them. It's part of the system that we're gonna use for the movements of the mouth later on this project, or not even that much later, but still a little bit away from that. So Umash is sending us a comment. Thanks for participating and bringing some energy to the table. Where did you purchase the model with blunt shapes from? I don't remember right now, my friend. I'll check out this information and I'll bring it back. But it was something like I don't remember. I don't remember, and it doesn't have anything inside of the. I'll have to check my emails and then get back to you. But there's no information here on the folder, so just the yeah. I'll get back to you, Umesh, if you don't mind. Maybe next stream I'll let you know, or I'll add it to the description of this live. I don't know, something like that. I hope you don't mind. All right, so continuing here, I will get the. So this is good enough, I guess. It's not perfect, but at least we can see something. I think that the teeth also have some. What am I selecting here that has values added to it? Oh, it's a joint. Great. The mesh gotta be zeroed out. It has to be zeroed out, otherwise we're screwed up. Uh, Let me just check this guys here. So we have this and we have the tongue, and I can actually you can see that they are kind of, the teeth is kind of open, so I might have to work on this later on. But since it's not attached to the geo of the face, I don't think I'll mind for now. Yeah, so oh man, I'm leaving the again. I'm leaving my face in the screen. Sorry about that. So Umesh is saying here, because I'm pathetic, I'm making blend shapes, and what I find mostly is only the model. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you want to focus on. I I definitely value the work of people that are working strictly with sculpting blend shapes at the moment, and it's actually a great opportunity to even work with this. But I agree with you. It's hard. It depends on what you want to focus on. Right now, it because the focus of this project is to get the entire cycle going, like getting the rig builder, getting the UI, getting everything building automatically, and the blend shapes then are a part of the deal. They need to be added, but we could also use other systems with it in order to uh, amplify the movements or to tweak or to even if you say you don't have the blend shapes and we have a rig that is able to perform basic mouth movements and eye movements and everything without the blend shapes. So this is why I bought the blend shapes. I am thinking about moving on the next step into. I'm considering sculpting a face from scratch and doing the whole thing so that we can um, have something that looks really good and that we can publish later on. But I mean, it's not even related to your question. At this point, I'm just ranting about something. But anyways, uh, okay. So I'm just going to add. Could be like what a blend. Sometimes Lambert works out. So I'm actually saying now. So right now the goal is to start with fact setup, referring to the older stream for that. Yeah. So the idea is to use the facts create the rig based on the facts blend shapes, or using all the blend shapes that we have, plus mixing up a few other things to get the fact shapes, and also sculpting when necessary to get the entire fact shapes. But we also have other like tweaking systems underneath it. We have systems to move the mouth from side to side and to push just specifically just one thing, for example, the fax blend shape rig won't be able to do for you is if you have a character smoking a cigarette, say for example. You could do him smoking like this, like that. Let's bring it up. Hey Bob, how's it going, man? All right, so you could do like a character smoking like, but that not always cuts it. You would have to have something like this, like a a hanging cigarette or something like that. In that, the flexible and shape rig is not going to give you that unless you. Well, I'm watching right now what I'm doing on the stream, and this could be, maybe I'll use it as a thumbnail. Nobody's ever going to understand what's going on. But yeah, we need that. That's all to say that we need the tweakers, right? And or you can also sculpt something specifically for the shot. You know, it depends on the approach. So I'm going to apply this to this blend here. Let's start with the gum here. Assign material to selection, and I'm going to rename this to teeth gum matte. And then from this, what I'm going to do is just add an image here. And I am going to add let me check which one we need here. So I'm trying to accomplish multiple stages today. So so that it's teeth color, pretty obvious to be honest. Yeah, here we go. It's a simple material. I'm not trying to go nuts with this, but it's just to have something that we can look at. And Emmanuel is saying something here. Hello, I have not been able to follow the direct ones. Is there a way to see them and follow the process to put it into practice? Well, my friend, I hope that at the end I can compile some information and get back to the viewers or anyone that is going with us on this journey with a more concise, pack for absorbing this information. But right now, really, I'm developing this. It's like I'm not even, you know, I thought about maybe at the end of each week having a speed. How do you call it? Like a when you accelerate the footage and put it all together, and then I would comment on it. But the time is it's of the essence. I don't know if I have the time for that right now. I rather invest time on developing the system, and after that, with a more focused vision of what we want, I can get back and put that in. But feel free to join and ask questions, and whenever I get the full idea of what's going to be done, I'll be happy to get back to you guys. Hope that's good enough answer for now. I know I also wanted to have a super straightforward course here going on. And we might have in the future. It's something that I will be happy to have in the future. So teeth gum matte. So this is going to be tongue matte. We're just going to be assigning this to this. And then we should be able to find, it should be tongue color, right? As you would expect. So tongue color, and it's updated there. All right, so this then should be good enough for us to, I don't know if we have the eyelashes or something like that. So the teeth, we do have the tear mask. We do have occlusion for the teeth. We do have the normals. It would be great to add the normals, but I'll have to check the best way for us to do that. And now I don't know if that's the best topic for this live development. So I'll just leave it out for now. I could add the roughness for so the eye. I could add the eye, but it's just going to look super creepy with no, yeah, with no transparency. I could also do the transparency, but I'm just not thinking that it's a good investment of our time right now. So yeah, let's deal with it one thing at a time. All right. So first thing that I'm going to do then is just save this progress, and by save this progress, I mean I will export this. Also, let me just try to remove. So I know that I have added materials to this, I added materials to this, I added materials to this, and everything else has no materials. And it is causing me issues there. It's like the we're getting reports, it's complaining that something is wrong. So I don't want that. So I'm just going to load whatever it is. There's this freaking default material here, which I'm not really sure what it means. So what I'm going to do is just create a new bling material, and I'm going to assign to all these guys here. They're going to be a little bit shiny, gives a little bit of you know, it's a little happier. All right, so that being said, I think that this would then, yeah, it's complaining about some file that doesn't exist. I don't even mind. And that's one of the reasons also why we're going to just export this right now. This is the model geo. I'll also create a folder for backup. And I'm going to drop this geo inside of it for now, just in case. All right, so that with that done, then what I'm going to do is just rebuild it to check if it's bringing everything in correctly. And this now these modifications we made to the mesh, adding the the shaders and everything, should come back as this. Let's see if it works. So yeah, this is a summer day here in Vancouver, BC, Wednesday at this point, and we have, I don't know how many degrees. Let me see. I know that it's 25 or 21 now. It's a little bit chiller, but Vancouver surprises us sometimes. All right, so it seems like it worked or not. Yeah, it works. Cool. So we have what we were expecting, but look at that. It's not really what is going on. Oh, that is then now that's now related to all the blend shapes that we have that are also suffering from the same problem, which is actually very annoying. So what I want to do then is to do a couple of things here. So I am going to select this, and I'm just going to, oh my God. Okay. So I want to clear the history, all those meshes, just make sure. And then I want to also graph the materials. There's a bunch of default materials here that I really don't care at this moment, but we cannot. Oh man, we cannot use the same material for all of them, or can we? Can we? We might be able to do it. Yeah, because I don't care about that later, so I might be able to just do that. So I'll just add a blend, although I think the default material would also work. So I'll just do blend shapes, blend shape, targets, default, matte, right? And that then I will apply to all of these guys because they're also being saved into the same file. So I don't think it would mind. And it will look a little bit better. And hopefully we'll stop complaining. And also, I don't know, it's not necessary, but I will smooth all this polygons. I just don't like looking at them like this. You know, maybe it's not necessary. I'll just soften the edges. Why? I don't know. So many edges. Yes, so whatever comments you have, let's just drop it in the comment box and we can discuss new ideas, old ideas, and current ideas. Also, ideas that haven't even been conceived. All right, so all of our meshes are now smooth, as you can see. I don't know if that's a great idea or a bad idea, but there we have it. That's what it is. Yeah, I hope this goes away though. All right, so now also I want to delete the history on these meshes. Yeah, gone. And yeah, now what I'm going to do is just export them again. That should give us a much better end result. Also, I think I'm just going to export them like off, with visibility off, because they're being imported and I don't really care that they, I mean, I can always export it back again, but this is not what I want. I want the model. No, it's not the model. Also, it's on the template, and it is the. So I want to create a backup folder as well, where I am going to drop the blunt shape geo here. I'm just going to export this back. All right, that's saved. So there we have it. It should, next thing then, what we should be seeing is when we rebuild this, all this is going to be back and the blend shapes are going to be off. So I'm going to rebuild it back again. Right, even faster than last time, meaning that probably the shaders were causing us a lot of issues here. And the blend shapes are imported into the geometry template, and they are here, and they are smooth and with the default shader that we have created, meaning that we're not going to have any problems. It's no longer complaining here. So that's great. Let me just check one thing, sorry. All right, sorry. All right, guys, I need a moment. Okay, anyways, I'm now just turning this back off and I need to adjust the school here. So we're going to start by adjusting the school inside of the head, and then we're going to move on into the. So we're going to have to adjust these three pieces of geometry here first. And that I'll do probably with the lattice, and we're going to get like all of this uh, pieces of, just the main major shapes into place so that we can use this information later on. But we have some progress at least. Let me change this color here to like a black. I believe this is going to be looking a little better. And right now I'm not actually using my script editor, so I will just drop that off. Look at that, a little better, right? Okay, so let's keep moving towards this then. Okay, so let's go reading and the form, and you can do a lattice here. Divisions 333. I'm not really sure how I'm going to approach this. The local divisions 222. Let's begin with the basics, and then we're going to be moving up as we go. Let's just see if this is going to work as I'm expecting it. Although the lattice has, wow, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is it dropping this to the floor? What's going on here? Right, so this should be correct, though. I don't know why it's crashing our Giorgio there. It shouldn't be crashing the Giorgio. Now it's crashed forever, so I don't know what's going on. I don't have any idea why this is happening. Why? It's totally the kind of thing that I don't want to have to handle right now. It has no history. It seems like this part here has something going on. This is way too. I believe this is. It looks like the place that it was previously at. So I don't know if this part here has any history to it. I don't know if that's even possible. All right, so all right, so let's keep going here. Sorry, guys. Okay, so there's an issue here. I don't know why this is happening right now. I gotta check why this piece of geometry is falling to the ground when there's no history. So first thing that I'll do is just like rebuild it. That's one of the advantages of having the RigBuilder. I can just rebuild it and get the same thing over again. Super fast. Now I want to check like why this is getting some crazy stuff going on. This is zeroed out. It is inside of its own group. I mean, it has no reason to do that. But I'm pretty sure if I do the same process again, it's gonna crash because I've seen it before. But man, let's see node editor. Let's see if there's something connected here. Maybe there's like too many shapes. What is this poly surface here? What happens if I delete this? Nothing. Okay. What is going on here? What? Is it the vertex list? This is nuts. I have never seen this before. Yeah, I don't know what this is about. It's 1,000 points. What I'm going to do first then is I'm just going to do what I was planning to do anyways, which is to get these three guys. Here's the muzzle, the jaw, and the skull, and we're going to add the the form lattice. And let's see if it's going to crash again. Yeah, it's crashing. Why though? Okay. So even if I undo the process, it's not going to fix it, which is weird. So okay, so let's then try to check the other geometry. So no, this is the only piece of geometry that is having this issue. So I will check for the same problem. Like I don't know if I've seen this before. Those connections, those node connections. Computer is running on a little bit on the heavy side. Yeah, definitely there's something happening there. There's a bleed material, but it's just a shape. So yeah, this guy here is definitely suffering from something that he shouldn't. So let me just delete all this stuff here. I don't know what is this. Let's see what's going to happen, right? I don't know if it's a set. It doesn't seem to be a set. But this deleted the entire thing. Is that what happened? Huh. Curious to say the least. Okay, so I'm just bringing everything back. Oh God, it's the kind of mistake that I don't want to have to deal with. What is this? It's an animation curve? What? I don't get it. Is there animation on this? Oh, there is. Hmm. Okay, so then what do I do? So what happens? This like, oh, God, man. Okay, so what I'm going to do to solve this, first of all, then is to just list on our script editor here. I'm just going to list the names of all these joints. So, or the vertex. So vertex equals CMDS dot ls sl equals 1. And then I'm going to list this, guys. And I also need to expand them. So when you get this, I believe it wouldn't matter for this application. Let's just see cmds dot select, and then we have the vertex list, and it should select everything. So it's fine. It didn't select anything else. Okay, all good. So I'm going to have to rebuild it once again. It's very weird that we have animation keys on vertex. I don't know what, when have I done this before? But anyways, I'll isolate this. I will go into vertex. I'm just going to select those vertex. We can see that there's a, oh man, no. Stop it now. Stop it already. Okay, let's go again. And again, this is the advantage of having the RigBuilder, right? Just bringing everything back again. And now I hope I'm smarter than the last time and I get the stuff that I need. So what I'm going to do then is I believe I'm going to have to key a very silly way. Just going to key the, yeah. So now we're probably going to have an animation on this. Yeah, boom. Okay. So all good, no problem there then. And I'm just going to delete this keyframe. Boom. And also, I'll hope I can just delete this keyframe here and everything will be normal. No! Why? Senseless. Never seen this before. My lights are getting in front of my monitor right now. Okay, so there are no keyframes. Do I have more keyframes? Just this one keyframe. So this. So animation, Windows, animation editors, graph, time to extend, graph editor. And then, hmm, okay, let's do it the hard way. I'm gonna do it like that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the position of each one of those vertex, and then I am going to bring them back in. I'm going to delete that, bring them back in, and then just export the geometry back again. So I'm going to do cmbs dot filter expand, and then it's going to be this, and I believe it's SM31. Don't even ask me what this stands for. And we should have a list with only the vertex. So last time, if you remember, we're not gonna get there, but it was just like a list with the number with the 2 points and then the other number, which is like a sequence. So right now we're getting actually an actual list of each vertex selection. So right now what I'm going to do is just like create a list vertex position list or dictionary. And inside of this dictionary, I need the vertex name and the positions, right? So what I'm going to do is that let me increase the size of this so that we can all see. So what I'm going to do then is for vertex, uh, okay, let me do it again here. So vertex list for vertex, and let me just call it back again. And then for vertex and vertex list, then we're going to do a position, and we're going to, can you guys see it? You can, right? Okay. So we're going to do a cmds.xform, and we are going to get the vertex, and it's going to be in let's query to, and then it is trans, transform equals true, and then it is also word space, and it's true. So this should give us the position of the vertex, and then we're going to update our dictionary. So vertex position dict, and we're going to update this with the vertex and the position. Okay, so we have a new comment here. Thanks for joining, Harshit. So hi, what are you using for code auto completion in the script editor? So it's a built-in function from Maya. It's just this. You go here into the tab, the main menu here. Then you go into auto close brace. I think it's command auto completion, but you also need to have show tooltip help for it to be auto completing. So it's just this simple. Sorry, guys, my wife was passing by here. All right, so anyways, we should get the position dictionary here, and then to set it back in, I'm just going to do the same thing. So for vertex and vertex list, I am going to then do a cmds dot xform, and this time it is going to be setting the translate. So what I'm going to do is get the call the vertex here and get the translate here. It's going to be vertex position dict, and we're going to be calling the vertex. That's going to give us the position, and we're going to be placing it in word space, and that should be it. So what I want to do now is then first get the get this position. So just call these guys here and actually create this dictionary. Boom. So it's not tr, then what it is, I forgot. It's not t though. Okay, let's quickly check this. So Maya xform, Maya Python xform. You sure it's tr though? It's translation, but it stands for, yeah, it's just t. It's not tr, it's t. Anyhow, so going back to it once again. Oh boy, we have the I haven't left the comment section here. Sorry guys. So now I got the, well, position is not defined. Name position is not defined. What do you mean position is not defined? Here it is. Position. Oh, I just wrote it wrong. So Harshet is saying that he got it. So let's go again. All right, so now we got the dictionary. Let's just double check we have everything we are looking for. And it's exactly as we were expecting it. So now we should be able to delete this guy here. And it's going to fall back into the ground, but never mind, because this time we have the proper weapons to resolve this issue. So I can even unselect it. I hope I can just delete the or close this for now. And we're just gonna go back and loop it back in, and boom, we're back into place. Ding ding ding. It's the small achievements it's that you gotta cheer for. We got it fixed. No more problems there. Meaning that I will have to though go back and export this again. So we have the jaw, we have the jawbone, the skull bone, and the torso. I don't know that this is on a I think this is on a single file. So I'll just export the selection back again. And also I just want to make sure I don't have any history on this meshes. So just clear the history anyways and export it back again. So skeleton template geo, but that's it. We're in the template folder, all good. So the file has been successfully exported. Now I can just run it back again and let's see what we have. All right, so it's rebuilt and we have everything in place, and I hope we have no more problems with this piece of geo here in particular. So the jaw and the skull. I also need the muzzle here to be selected. And now if we apply our deformer, we should have no problems, I hope. Select this, of course. And we have it solved. Great. Good news. Can move on from that. All right, so now then what we should have is the ability to adjust this in a uh, mail. I don't know. It's just like a, trying to match this here. And I also want to say, I believe I recently heard about like moving X-rays reference. I don't want actual X-rays. I don't know that this is the thing they're looking after, and I don't want to look into things that are. So let's just do like a head X-ray. So what I want to see is like where the flash is actually touching. I mean, we don't need to be that precise with this. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's good yeah, it's good if we have it. This one we can kind of see that the flash is a lot further from the bone than we actually expect. So it's just a broad way to, I'll say it's something like this. And then we're going to have the nose portion here. So I'm going to roughly place it in the top of the head. It seems to be back a little bit like this. Right, so next step then it is to push this section here back in a bit. So all this is just so that I can use this information later on to place this, so place some guides and some of the systems that we're going to use on this project. So let me see if the grid view is going to help us here or make it harder. So on the skull, we can see the hole that is the place where the ear should be going in. And here we also have that representation. So we can see that these two things needs to be aligning. So what I can do now, although I don't want to distort this inner portion here, so we're going to see if that's going to affect it. It is going to affect it slightly. So what I will do is just come back to it. Or you know what, I can just do the outside portions here. Maybe that's a better approach to it. Yeah, it does move the center there, but it doesn't really matter at this point. The connection between the place where the cervical spine connects, it should be not moving. Okay, so this is going to give us some perspective. And should place also the zygomaticus bone on the correct place, but we're gonna have to then look specifically at the Like watch the bones now to see if there's like a major distortion or something like that. It doesn't seem to be the case. Seems like it's all good. And if we actually turn this thing off, it should look like a more should look more like the head that we have here. And also let me turn on the shaders that we brought in. Yeah, so now we can have a little more flashy feel to it. And also let me close my script editor because it's definitely not necessary right now. And yeah, it's starting to look a little better. I think that the jaw is positioned in a okay way. Maybe a little further. The nose is actually not that bad, right? But what we're gonna do now is then we're gonna subdivide this lattice and just be able to position it a little more precisely. And I think that this is going to get closer. But again, we gotta be watching for some sort of reference, like an X-ray here, so that we know how close to the bridge of the nose the bone actually gets. Yes, so here we can see, I don't know if this is a real X-ray, but this looks like it is, right? And yeah, the bone of, I don't know if it's kind of erased. I guess it's because it's more cartilage, but it doesn't get that close. This is definitely more visible. Yeah, I mean, it looks like that is not that far, right? I mean, I could definitely get a little bit closer, but especially the zygomaticus here is not that bad. Like the ear hole, there's pretty close. Zygomaticus is getting out here. It is giving, yeah, it's very close here, as you can see. We're still going to adjust it for sure. And also the stop part here needs a little more adjustment. This part here definitely needs some adjustment. But again, it's not absolutely necessary that these things are 100% correct. It's just to use as a template for. Yeah, okay, I think I'm going to start taking some risks right now, and I'm just going to, assume that this is in a good position. Inside of the head here, it's all good. Yeah, so for this part here, it was good. Yeah, okay, so I guess then that I will just duplicate this, guys. Even if I delete the lattice, it's not going to keep these changes. But let's try. Let's save it first. I don't necessarily need to change, but uh, it's good to have a copy of of work in progress, right? Yeah, so it just gets back where it was before, which is not what we want. So I guess I'll have to just then duplicate this geo. Or better yet, delete the history on this, guys. Yeah, works good as well. Okay, so I am now moving on to let's see. This Harshit was saying thank you for the information and thank you for participating, Harshit. If you guys, if anyone wants to comment or talk during the live, I'm happy to answer questions and just keep working here. So yeah, that's kind of okay. I mean, I will also apply a second, more detailed deformer here. So basically another lattice, and this time I'm going to go 666. So that should give us enough resolution for like a detailed positioning, though definitely a lot harder to figure out here. Yeah, but actually not that bad. Not that bad. It's actually aligning surprisingly well on the orbicular area. And I might just adjust this. But I don't want to crash through the geo here. And it seems like it's very close to crash, so it's fine. Maybe I'll push just the top portion of it. Yeah, that'll help. I want to see. Man, it's pretty close actually. I actually want to see how it looks. Maybe I don't need this guy. But look, it actually looks a lot more like the actual geo here. But we do have some crashes. But I mean, again, it's not meant to be a, because this is not an actual part of the geometry of the model. It's all basically for placement of the systems that are going to drive this. So basically adjusting it as best as possible right now, and I believe we might have something good enough for now. Kind of fits the eye socket here. Maybe the corner here could be a little different. I can say that. I can say that. I can just pull the corners there. See if that's not taking more of. Yeah, it's taking a lot of stuff out. So yeah, honestly, I don't know that it matters right now. So I don't I have nothing on the system using this, like the specific part. So I'm just gonna leave it as is right now. I believe it's good enough. Yeah, maybe I want to bring this jaw here a little further. Just like the teeth, closer to where the teeth are located. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense now. And maybe I will bring this bottom portion here a little bit forward. And then because I brought that in, I gotta bring this back a bit, just a tiny. Right, and this skull then should be looking a lot more like the character. All right, so we have so how do you say it? Al Edanish. I hope that I'm saying this right. So he's saying thank you, sir. I don't know why why you're thanking me, but I appreciate the participation. Welcome. And okay, so I guess that's it for this guy. I will save it once again just in case I want to get back into this point here for some reason. And this is kind of done. And what I'm going to do then is just delete the history. This is also looking pretty close. This is what we're going to use to drive a lot of the systems in the set here. This is actually very well positioned here on the nose. Should get some good deformations out of it. I might have to adjust it as well, but it's no problem. And I'm just gonna kill this guy, this lattice. And the history is also gone. So I can then export the whole thing back again. I'm just exporting the skeleton template geo, and also I'm going to export this muzzle template geo. And now this all should be easily brought in back for us to reuse. So same thing now with the skeleton here. This is roughly posed. I wouldn't like to have this showing up like this, but I also don't want to mess with it anymore. So yeah, what I could do here is just like pretty simply just uh, maybe yeah. First of all, we're saved there. I exported everything. So first of all, I'll just rebuild the scene just for the sake of having everything brought in back again, double checking it. So we're getting close to 1 hour and 30 minutes right now. So I'll probably just drop the mic really soon. Yeah, the geometries are being imported correctly. So for this guy here, what I'll probably do is just no. So let me unparent it. Just want to unparent this, and then I'll select nothing. I'll create a null group, and then I will get the null group and I'll place it kind of in the middle of the spine there. Just right here. By accident, it's pretty close to the center as I wanted. And then I can parent this guy inside of it, and I can try to scale this. I don't know if this is the best possible approach to this problem. Probably not. But that's where we can act with the lattice, because all we need is to have it as close as possible. And also there's a misconception here, because I don't think this skeleton is very precise, because technically this joint here, or yeah, this vertebra here, the first one that connects to the rib cage should be the first thoracic, and we happen to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it actually is correct. Actually, is correct. But the proportions are crazy. I don't know if that's correct, because this is too short and this is starting way too early. So let's go to the X-rays again. So thorax X-ray. Let's try cervical spine X-ray. Yeah, so obviously most of the content here is going to be people with problems on the cervical spine, which is not exactly what we need. So yeah, we can see that it goes like right, almost right in the middle of in the middle of the neck. But on our reference here, yeah, yeah. So it's not as bad as I was thinking. It's not too bad, but it's also not that precise. Yes. So let's see where we are. Yeah. So I believe that the true place. Okay. So I was doing the wrong thing. How long have I been doing the wrong thing? Yeah, so what I was going to say is that I think that the correct position of this spline for this guy would be something like this. You know what I mean? This looks like more, because we have the throat here, and the throat is pretty much like glued to the spine here, and you also have a lot of fat and muscle on the back of the spine. Also, you can see that the skull curves in pretty uh, pretty much like a lot at the end, and there's like a lot of muscle here on the back. So this one here is incorrect, or it is very close to being correct, but it's not actually correct. We can do the lattice again. And I don't know if I need that much resolution here. Yeah, maybe I need a little more resolution. Let's say 444, because I just need to deform kind of this area here. And that is probably going to be, yeah, it's not exactly wonderful, but you get the point here. The thing is, this should be kind of inwards, and that would then justify the position of the. What's the name of the hole of the cervical spine and the skull? Let's see. Skull, cervical spine hole. What's the name? Let's see if anybody shows it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna search for it right now. You get the point. Is the hole on the skull where the spine connects, and it's now a lot closer to the what would be a good place for the spine. And if that makes us happy for today, that's what's going to be. Yeah, you can see that right there. Bam. I guess that's going to be kind of it. Not too bad, but the back is a little further away than it probably should be. But anyways, I guess it's good enough as a reference, so I'm not expecting to like all that much anyways. The scapula is definitely too far. There's many problems. There are many problems. Yeah, so I wanted to use this kind of as a a base, but I don't know if I'm going to lose time on this. Okay, so I'm going to do what I was doing before, and I will apply a lattice, and then I will try to move just this bottom or medial portion here into place. And then I'm also going to be kind of scaling this part here. Or just this part, maybe. And then maybe just then. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty silly, but 'cause we have no reference here of that bones, but I feel like it's much more like this than something else. Although the clavicle here is obviously not on the correct spot. It's totally crossing the thing. So maybe I just need this guys here to be down and forward a little bit. Or not even. Yeah, okay, so you guys get the point. This is more or less placing the skeleton there. It's not going to be a part of the rig. This is the way to place things in the most correct way possible. Although it is a representation, and I hope it's like as best as possible. Because I'm saving this now and moving on. So I'm removing this. I'm gonna place this in Word. It's going to keep a bunch of the things. I'm just going to zero it out completely. Freeze. And then freeze all. And let me see if the pivot is on the correct place. It's not in the correct place. I need to rearrange the pivot here. I believe I wrote a script to zero out this pivot somewhere. This is renaming, this is renaming, this is renaming. Oh boy, what is this doing? It's relatives, rename. Where's the pivot here? Jesus. This is renaming. So much stuff. RP000. Here we go. So we have this, and then we have this. And when we run this, we should have the pivot set back to 0. Okay, so what about the jaw? And so is it all on the correct place? Zeroed. This one is also zeroed, and this one's also zeroed. So I need this guys out. And I'll just export selection once again as the skeleton to geo. Yes. And the muzzle as well. I don't know if I changed anything on the muzzle. I don't think I did. Or did I? So let's just export it. There's no history. It's all good. So that's all we have changed. So now we're ready, kind of ready for the next step where we're going to be placing we're going to be working on the skeleton. And then moving on into actually making this a functional rig. So let's rebuild then and just check if all this work is saved. If not, I'm full. Well, thank you guys for participating today. These are a few of the comments that we had, and it's great to be working and get some energy from people just wanting to know stuff or adding to the process helps to keep me alive here. All right. So I guess we have it. Now I may do some more adjustments. This is far away from an anatomically. Look at the size of the torso of this guy. I think it's way too small, and I haven't even like multiplied the number of heads to see if it's exactly what we need. But at this point, I just need we're just gonna work with the head itself, so I'm not gonna be concerned too much about it. And yeah, it's working. We have adjusted it. We have fixed shader issues. Let me get into the main frame here. So that's what we did today. We basically are doing some cleanup work still. We cleaned up shaders that were crashing, brought in some brand new shaders. We also adjusted the position of the skeleton and the skull. And the next step now is to move into adjusting the actual joint skeleton based on these modifications that we made, and bring it start to actually code the rigging part of it. So yeah, I hope you guys have had some fun today. The meat of the process is about to get started, so I hope that as we proceed forward it gets more and more exciting. But as I said, it's it's always rigging and coding. So I can throw marshmallow on top of it, and still there will be people sleeping. So, anyways, hope you guys have a good night or a good day, and we'll talk on the next stream. Bye bye. Yeah, Harshet is saying that he's looking forward to it. See you soon, Harshet. Bye bye, guys.